Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So, this past weekend, I didn't necessarily mean to, but I did make my way into a couple of different Dollar Tree stores. So, the first one I went into, my daughter really wanted some more balloons because she's at the age where she's obsessed with them. And so we stopped in on the way home from daycare one night, happened to find some things. Well, then, a few days later, I was out with my mom who needed to stop into the Dollar Tree to pick up whatever she needed. And it was a Dollar Tree that I'd never been in before. And oh my gosh, it was crazy. They had so many movies. Now, mind you, it's not as many as like the one of the few that I go to around here, because that one is just absurd. But this one had a bunch of the newer wave, at least what it looked like to me was the newer wave of films. And so, of course, if I'm at the Dollar Tree, I'm not going to pass up looking at them. So even though I said in a recent video that I just don't really care too much about the Dollar Tree movies anymore, and that is true, I don't, but if I'm there, I'm not going to pass them up. So I actually was able to find quite a bit of stuff here. I have like 4 books, 2 CDs, which are movie related, and then over 20 movies, like 4 Blu-rays, and the rest are all DVDs. So I went a little crazy, but hey, that happens every once in a while, right? So really excited to share this with you guys. And let me just kind of point out what I feel is like the elephant in the room here. No, I've not been crying. No, I'm not a zombie. My eye, I don't know what's going on, but I have this like dry skin around my eye. So like today I'm super red. Normally I can put lotion on and it kind of makes the redness go away, but it's still there, but I have to film. So I apologize that I look absolutely ridiculous tonight, but hopefully you don't care. I joked with my wife, like, thank God I didn't build a YouTube channel on being a good looking person, right? So you guys know why you're here, and it's not for me, it's for what I picked up. So without further ado, if you guys do have a second though, please hit that like button. That really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into my latest Dollar Tree haul. Before we get into the haul, I wanted to talk about an issue that I ran into and see if you guys have ever experienced this. So I found a movie there that I was actually pretty excited about because it was a Shout Factory title. It's actually I don't know if we want to say, not super well known, I guess I'll say, superhero film called Valentine the Dark Avenger. And again, as you can see on the side here, this is Shout Factory. So this is an Indonesian superhero film, I believe, and I'd heard good things about it, so I was really excited to find it. Well, when I picked it up, it was shaking on the inside, so I was like, oh great, the disc is loose and it's only DVD, but it was the only one they had. And so I wasn't going to a bunch of different places this time. I just happened to be there, so I was grabbing what they had. And so I grabbed it and I got it home, and because it was shaking, I opened it up. Well, when I opened it up, this is exactly what was inside. A whole lot of absolutely nothing. You can see here, this is broken. And that is what was making the noise there, was that little clip. But there was no disc inside. Literally, no disc. Like, I've never had that happen. I've never opened up a movie before, whether it's from the Dollar Tree or anywhere else, and there not be a disc inside. I literally took the wrapping off myself. So the craziest, I was kind of dumbfounded by. I had to send a video to my buddy and being like, what? How does this happen? So have you guys ever experienced this before? Like empty cases at the Dollar Tree or somewhere else? The only time I had a similar experience was I bought National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on Blu-ray from Best Buy, and I got home, I opened it up, took the wrapper off myself, and it was the DVD inside, which was super weird, but I was able to just take that back up there and exchange it for the Blu-ray copy. But yeah, just weird. So Valentine the Dark Avenger is not in the collection because it's an empty case. So, and I can't even use it as like an extra case because that thing is broken off of it. But yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. Have you ever experienced this? Have you heard about others experiencing that before? A blank movie. It makes me want to open all of these. And I was thinking about doing it on camera, but then when you shake them, I could actually hear the disc moving a little bit, which in that one you couldn't. It was just the rattle of the little, clip that broke off. But I didn't think about it because it never even would have crossed my mind to begin with. So I don't know, whatever. Be careful. Let me know if you've ever experienced that or heard of anyone else experiencing that. So with that out of the way, now let's jump over. I'm going to start with the CDs, and then we'll jump over to books, and finally we'll do the movies. All right, so I did find 2 soundtracks at the first Dollar Tree I stopped in, so I did pick them up. The first one here is Speed Racer. So this is a movie that I've actually not seen, but I've heard is super underrated. My buddy absolutely loves it. I would love to give this one a viewing at some point because like the colors in it just look like so much fun. But this one is music composed by Michael Giacchino, I believe is how you would say that. So this is the score to this film. So I was excited to find this one because I'd never seen this there before. My buddy actually sent me a picture. He found it at his local Dollar Tree, but he happens to own that on vinyl already, so I didn't, and so I picked it up myself when I saw it. And then the other one I grabbed is a Shia LaBeouf movie. This is Eagle Eye. Another one I've not seen, but I really like Shia LaBeouf, and so it's a movie I'll probably watch eventually. But this is music by Brian Taylor. So yeah, 2 cool soundtracks to add to my collection. I think I mentioned this before, but I wanted to bring all my movie soundtracks downstairs to have them with all of my movies, and I finally did that. They're not in the best spot. They're off camera. You can't see them now, but I did bring my whole soundtrack collection down, which isn't huge, but it's decent, and I really like the ones I have, so these will definitely be a good fit for that collection. So Speed Racer soundtrack and Eagle Eye soundtrack. So those are the 2 CDs I was able to find. So now let's jump over to the books. I've really slowed down buying books this year, but yeah, I say that, and then I remember I have a giant stack of books over there, but I bought those over the past like 3 or 4 months, so I don't feel too badly about it. But anyway, because of that, I haven't been buying a lot from the Dollar Tree, but this one I couldn't pass up. This is The Addams Family junior novelization. So I loved this movie. I thought it was hilarious. It was just super charming and sweet, you know, with that horror mixed in there. I thought it was awesome. So was really excited to find this one and see how the junior novelization is. Honestly, even with junior novelizations, I've been toning down buying those just because I just don't know if I'm going to read them or not. But this is one I could definitely see myself reading because it is more horror based from a movie I love. So the Addams Family, the Addams Family junior novelization from the most recent movie. Well, the original to the most recent movie. And then we'll jump over to a couple more middle grade here. These just looked awesome. And they had book 2 and book 3, so I figured I'd grab them both. This is the Tales from Lovecraft Middle School. This one is The Slither Sisters, written by Charles Gilman. And you can see, can you make it out there? Yeah, look at that lenticular cover. That is awesome. I love it. So cool. So yeah, this just looks really good. This is actually hardcover, so that's cool. I think there's actually illustrations in here. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's just the cover. But anyway, that one looks awesome. And then, book number 3, Teacher's Pest. Love that cover. Like, these lenticulars are just fantastic. So this is, again, by Charles Gilman. So yeah, 2 books in this middle grade horror series that I am really looking forward to checking out. I do need book 1, but like, it is surprisingly expensive on Amazon to get the hardcover, so I'll probably just not get it. I'm sure these are all going to be standalone, like Goosebumps style, but yeah, these were too cool not to get. So I know I'm trying to, you know, slow down in the book buying, but these ones I had to grab them. So Teacher's Pest and the Slithers, that's hard to say, the Slither Sisters, book 2 and book 3 of Tales from Lovecraft Middle School. I thought those 2 were pretty awesome. And then the last book related thing is actually a graphic novel. And it is a prequel, I believe. This is just ridiculous. It's a prequel to the Green Lantern movie. This is Secret Origins, written by Jeff Johns. And it has art by Ivan Rice and Auclair Albert, I believe is how you would say that. So, yeah, I think this is a, like, original story that was written as a prequel to the Green Lantern film that everybody hates, except me. I liked it okay. I thought it was fine. Yeah, and it has an introduction by Ryan Reynolds as well. So, like, I don't know. Like, the art's pretty standard, but it looks pretty good. So, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. I know very little about Green Lantern. Yes, I've seen the movie, and I liked that, but I don't think that's really the best introduction to Green Lantern. I have read a few Green Lantern graphic novels, but honestly, nothing I've loved in the past. And I think that had to do with the author, the writer, as opposed to anything else. He's just, yeah, he's one of those. But anyway, Jeff Johns writes this one. I'm hoping I will like it when I get around to it. But yeah, definitely going to read this and then check out the movie again to see if it adds anything to it. And this is actually surprisingly thick. Like, I don't know how many issues this would like equate to, but I'm guessing probably like 5 issues would be my guess. There's no, well, I guess there is. Book 6. So yeah, I guess it's, yeah, book 1. Okay, so that answers that. There are 6 issues in this volume. So yeah, let me know if I'm wrong. Maybe they just made a new cover for the Secret Origin story. I have no idea. But as far as I can tell, looking at it, it looks like it's an original story that's written as a prequel to the Green Lantern Ryan Reynolds film. But again, if I'm wrong, let me know down below. So yeah, that is the last book-related thing I grabbed. But I thought it was pretty cool given what it is. So with that said, let's jump over. I guess I have 4 Blu-rays, so we'll end with those. So we'll start now with the DVDs I found. So as per usual, when it comes to the DVDs, like there are some things in here that I think look really awesome, other things that I think, well, that that looks okay. I'll give it a chance for $1.25. This first one, though, is awesome. This is actually UFC related. This is UFC presents The Ultimate Fighter, The Toughest 25 Moments. So this is exactly that. I'm assuming it's going to be like the top 25 moments from the Ultimate Fighter series, which is a reality series that UFC puts on. Frankly, I don't even know if they still do it. Actually, I think they do, because I was reading that 2 women are going to lead the next class, but I don't know their names. But anyway, yeah, so this is going to go over the top 25 moments. And it's hosted by Forrest Griffin, so that's cool. How long is this, I wonder? Is there a time on here? Contains 10 bonus tough moments. Yeah, there's no time on this, so I'm not sure how long this is going to be, but hopefully they'll have, like, full fights if that pops up, but we'll see. Like, this is really cool. I haven't only watched the first season of The Ultimate Fighter, but I loved it. I just never ended up, continuing on this with the series. And it's something I'm looking to grab more of as the days go on here. I'd love to find another, or some seasons of Tough Enough. But anyway, or not Tough Enough. I'm thinking WWE's Tough Enough. This is The Ultimate Fighter. I'd love to find seasons of The Ultimate Fighter. Anyway, let's move on. So this is UFC presents The Ultimate Fighter, the 25 toughest moments. I thought this was a pretty cool one. This next one is definitely one of those, should I have actually bought this one? This is, Chronicles of the Paranormal Psi Factor, or PSI Factor, whatever that's supposed to say there. So yeah, this is actually season 4, apparently, of this show, and there are 22 episodes on this. So yeah, it's a paranormal haunting show. I tend to like those, so I figured I would grab it and see how it is. And this is one of those that, you don't need to see the first 3 seasons to understand what's going on, because it's just going to be separate stories being told over the course of these different episodes. So, yeah, we'll see if this is any good or not. I have no idea. It says the Chronicles of the Paranormal will change the way you perceive reality as a fearless team of investigators from the it's actually one office. So almost like ghost hunters. Okay, interesting. We'll see how this is. I have no idea. Chronicles of the Paranormal Psi Factor, or PSI Factor. I feel like an idiot because I just don't know. But this is season 4, so 22 cases of bizarre hauntings and mysterious encounters. This next one is actually one that I passed up in the last wave because I figured, without looking at it, I figured I owned all the movies already, but turns out I only own one of these 8 movies in this film. This is the Screaming Skull collection, and we have in here the Screaming Skull, the Mad Monster, the Vampire Bat, the Monster Maker, Tormented, Scared to Death, Atom Age Vampire, and Dead Men Walk. And like I said, I think maybe there was 2, but it was a very small number. 1 or 2 of these I owned on other sets like this, but this one, the rest of them I didn't. So I figured, yeah, why not? The quality is not going to be good. I understand that. It's going to be like the Mill Creek ones, from back in the day, but we'll see. I don't know. Screaming Skull, 8 different movies for $1.25. You can't beat that. And then again, the case was broken, but it was the only one, so I grabbed it. So yeah, really cool find. 8 different 60s, I think they're 50s and 60s for the most part, horror films that are probably not great, and I'm sure the transfer is going to suck, but hey, for $1.25, I added it to the collection. This next one is another one that I don't have super high expectations for, but I'm hoping it might surprise. This is The Murder of Nicole Brown Simpson. So this one reason I thought it might be interesting is because it stars Mina Suvari, who is actually a really good actress. And so I'm thinking maybe it'll be all right. Nick Stahl is in this as well. And the O.J. Simpson case, of course, is just fascinating to me as a true crime junkie. I was young when it happened. When was it? 96? 94. Okay, so I was 8 years old, but I vividly remember being at my grandma's house and watching that Bronco drive through the streets, watching it on TV. So because of that, I'm just intrigued by the story. So I want to give this one a shot and see if it's any good or not. So The Murder of Nicole Brown Simpson. This next one I actually saw Ken over at Mid-Level Media pick up in his latest Dollar Tree haul. This is Busted. Now, it looks terrible. It's from 1997, and it just looks not very good. But it's directed by Corey Haim and has Corey Feldman in it as well. That's ridiculous. Yeah, directed by Corey Feldman. Yeah, did I say that backwards? It's directed by Corey Feldman, and I believe both of them star in it. Yeah, Corey Feldman and Corey Haim star in it. So, I don't know. How do you pass it up for $1.25? It just looks fun. In the back here, faster than a speeding airplane, more powerful than a naked gun. So that's the type of movies that they're going for. I can't imagine how bad this is going to be, but I had to grab it given the cast and the director here. So Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, the Coreys in Busted from 1997. Here's another one. I picked it up, I put it down. I picked it up, I put it down. Ultimately, obviously, I picked it up and kept it, and mostly because of the cast. This is with Bryan Cranston, Diane Lane, and Helen Mirren. Trumbo, and John Goodman is also in this. He's pictured on the back. So like an excellent cast. Now this is about Dalton Trumbo. He was Hollywood's top screenwriter until he was blacklisted for their politics. So that's a fascinating time in history. It's a fascinating story. There's another movie that I am totally blanking on the name of. We watched it when I was in undergrad. It's excellent. It's about this same time in the same era being, through McCarthyism, things like that. But anyway, I'm totally blanking on the name. But yeah, it reminds me of that. So I'm very intrigued to see what this is. And Bryan Cranston is just one of the greatest to ever do it. So excited to see if this one is any good or not. Trumbo with an excellent, excellent cast. Next up is a movie that I've heard a lot about over the years, but I've never actually seen it, and I don't even know if it's supposed to be any good or not, but it's from 2003. Ebert and Roeper give it 2 thumbs up. This is Pieces of April, starring Katie Holmes, who I think is awesome, so I wanted to give it a shot. So it sounds really weird. It sounds like it might be a comedy of sorts, but like the main character is trying to host this party for her family in her New York apartment, but then her oven breaks down, and so she's relying on like the kindness of strangers to put this like party together. I don't know. Sounds really weird, but hey, we'll give it a shot. Pieces of April from 2003. Hopefully Ebert and Roeper are right, and I'll give this one a couple thumbs up. So if you guys have watched the channel for any length of time, you know that I have to have at least one of those like really Z-grade horror movies in here because I'm just a sucker for a good cover. So I do have actually arguably 2, some might say 3, it just depends on your perspective. But this first one here is All the Creatures Were Stirring. So this is obviously going to be a Christmas horror film, which generally are pretty fun to watch, even if they're not the best. And from what I can tell, it looks like it might be an anthology film, so those are so hit or miss with me. I don't tend to watch a ton of anthology films, but I don't know. It's a Christmas one, so we'll give it a shot. And on the back it says, ho ho no. So I mean, come on, that's gold. So yeah, we'll see how what is this? All the Creatures Were Stirring. We'll see how this one is when I get around to it. And the next one that is sure just to not be great, this one is Animal Among Us. And I don't know, it just sounds good. Like, great cover again, so that's what suckered me in, but it sounds interesting. These two teenage girls were murdered at Merrymaker campgrounds 15 years ago, and it was like filed as an animal attack, I guess, and so the camp was condemned, and now the killer, of course, was never found, and so now something is waiting for these new people in the woods. And so, I mean, yeah, it sounds like exactly what you would expect a slasher film to be. And I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, but it has some good pull quotes on the back. A twist you'll never forget. Loaded with tension, twists, and solid action from Horror Fuel. I've never heard of either of these companies that are on the pull quotes here, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm a sucker. What can I say? Animal Among Us. This is the third one that honestly could go either way. Like, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's as like low budget and kind of questionable as the first two, but it probably will be. This is called The Devil Incarnate. And, this looks like a like Rosemary's Baby type of film. And as I was looking at the back here, I'm realizing that I have quite a handful of movies that are this same premise, where it is a woman that is pregnant, and of course there's going to be something evil inside her, or at least that's what they think. So I need to do some type of video where I gather up all of the ones that I already own for this. There has to be 4 or 5 at least that I can think of off the top of my head, and just do a vlog through them to see how they are, because they just, I don't know. I don't love this premise necessarily, but I have a lot from the Dollar Tree, so I figured why not give these all a shot at some point. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. This is another one from RLJ Entertainment, so hopefully it'll be decent. This is The Devil Incarnate. Next up is a sci-fi film, and I want to give a shout out to Chuck. Now, Chuck, correct me if I'm wrong down below, but I think you recommended this one to me. This is from Draft House Films, The Congress, with Robin Wright, Harvey Keitel is in this, Paul Giamatti, like great cast, and it's like sci-fi film that looks pretty interesting. And like I said, I swear someone recommended this one to me, and I think it's Chuck, but again, correct me if I'm wrong down below, Chuck. But anyway, yeah, this one looks pretty interesting. I guess I don't even really know what it's about, but it has a mix of animation in this as well, so I don't know. Yeah, more than 2 decades after catapulting to stardom with The Princess Bride. I don't know. Like, she's playing herself, maybe? I have no idea. It sounds very interesting. So we'll see how this one is. And again, it's Draft House Films. So I'm wondering, yeah, there actually is. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a booklet inside there. So hopefully this will be a cool release, if nothing else. So The Congress from Draft House Films. I was really excited about this one, and so I thought this like completed my Cabin Fever collection, but turns out this is actually the 3rd movie in the Cabin Fever franchise, not the 2nd one. This is Cabin Fever Patient Zero, which I have to assume is a prequel. Now, I thought I had this movie. Like, I went through my inherited movies. I didn't see it there. I went through my collection app. I didn't see it there. So I picked it up. But I don't know. I feel like maybe it's sitting somewhere that I'm just forgetting about. So yeah, we'll see. I've not seen this one before, but I do like the Cabin Fever franchise. So hopefully this one will be pretty good. Cabin Fever Patient Zero. Without getting too political, I'll bring up this next movie I picked up here. This is a documentary from the very divisive Michael Moore. This is Fahrenheit 11/9. So this one looks like it's going to be about Trump in like 2016 and all that. So I'd be interested to see what this one is. I won't talk too much about this because this isn't the time or the place. But yeah, I'm a big Michael Moore fan, if that tells you anything. So very much looking forward to checking out Fahrenheit 11/9. I am actually like stupidly excited for this next one because I remember the day this came out and I was this close to picking it up on Blu-ray because it looked like, it didn't look good, but it looked like something I wanted to see. Kelsey Grammer, Thomas Jane, Denise Richards, and Adam Edge Copeland from WWE star in Money Plane. I have not heard anybody talk about this movie yet, and I have been wanting to see this since it came out because it just looks like it's going to be ridiculous. It's probably terrible, but with that cast, I am absolutely willing to give it a shot. I was so thrilled when I saw this at the Dollar Tree. Yes, I would love to have gotten this on Blu-ray, but beggars can't be choosers, and this is one that I just am really looking forward to checking out. So if you guys have seen this, let me know what your thoughts are, because I haven't heard really anyone talk about it. So Money Plane with Edge, of all people, Kelsey Grammer, Denise Richards, and Thomas Jane. That's gotta be fun, right? The next three are all from RLJE Films, and this first one is a Shudder exclusive, which I'm trying to get as many as I can in the collection. This is The Furies, and what's even better is it looks like it's a home invasion film, which is like my favorite. So really looking forward to checking this one out. It says neatly weaves stalk and kill thrills with tense psychological drama. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's not a home invasion, but like it really looks like it. It says stay alive or die trying. So yeah, excited to check this one out. I actually just subscribed to Shudder through like October for like $2.50 a month, so you can't beat that price. So I figured I would subscribe and see if I can find anything cool on there. But yeah, we'll check out The Furies, a Shudder exclusive. Next up is another movie I've seen hauled in some other waves, and I think this was one that was available in like the horror pack unboxings way back when, but this is Panic, and I believe the original title for this was Satanic Panic, but once they're selling it in Walmart, they have to get rid of that satanic word because of the children, of course. So yeah, we'll see how Panic is. This is another one that I don't know if this is Shudder related at all, but it is from RLJE Films. So yeah, we'll see if this one is any good or not. And oh my gosh, I didn't even realize this is from Grady Hendrix wrote this? I'm actually quite intrigued. It's written by from the author of My Best Friend's Exorcism, which I talked about at the end of last year because I read it and thoroughly enjoyed it. So this one just got bumped to the top of the list because I really am intrigued to see how Grady Hendrix does when he comes to writing films. So this one is Panic. So this one is actually not RLJE, I apologize. This is actually a G-Kids release, which means it's Shout Factory. This is Fireworks. And another one I would have loved to have found on Blu-ray, but hey, it is what it is. Anytime I can add something to my G-Kids collection from the Dollar Tree, I'm gonna do it. Now, I don't have a ton of these movies. They're all gonna be anime films. I don't have a ton, but I do have a handful. Probably might even be able to see some behind me. Yeah, right here. My Life as a Zucchini is one of them I have. But anyway, yeah, so G-Kids, you see the logo on the top there. Don't know anything about this, and that's totally fine. It is G-Kids, so I'm very excited to see how this one is. Fireworks is the last DVD I grabbed, so now let's jump over and wrap this up with the Blu-rays. You know what? I'll stick with G-Kids, because I did find a G-Kids Blu-ray. This is Satellite Girl and Milk Cow. So another one from the G-Kids line. I actually had to replace this case because it was like destroyed. The one that I bought from the store was destroyed. So had to get a new case for it, but that's all right. Fortunately, I have a bunch that I'm trading, so I was able to get rid of the case or whatever, trading or yeah, not to people, but to disc replay. So yeah, anyway, Satellite Girl and Milk Cow. My buddy watched this last month when he picked it up in the last wave, and he really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping I will like it. It's going to be just like Fireworks. It's going to be like a sweet, charming, hopefully enjoyable, lighthearted anime film. So we'll see how it is. Satellite Girl and Milk Cow from G-Kids. Sticking with the family films, here is a sequel to a movie that I don't own the original, so I'll definitely have to correct that next time I find it cheap, but this is Angry Birds 2. So something that was very popular in this wave is a lot of Spanish titles, so you can see, this one's not so bad, but it says right there, La pellicula. I'm an idiot. I can't speak any other language. So, I apologize for even attempting that. But you can see it's all in Spanish in the back here. So, yeah, it is a Spanish cover, but like the movie's still going to be in English, so that's totally fine. So I decided to grab Angry Birds 2. My daughter will absolutely love this one regardless. So hopefully she'll get around to watching it sometime soon. Next up is actually an adaptation of a graphic novel that I've heard really good things about over the years, and this one is directed by Anders Walter. This is I Kill Giants. So you can see there it's from the producers of Harry Potter, which I never understand why, like, that matters. So you gave them money for the film, like, why does, whatever. Anyway, Zoe Saldana and Madison Wolfe star in this one, and I believe it's a young adult graphic novel series that deals with a lot with like emotions and things like that, mental health. That's the term I was looking for. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see how this one is. I don't know that I've seen anything else from Anders Walter, but apparently he is a Academy Award winning director. So there's that. What did he do? And I'm just not realizing. Probably something I've seen. I just have no idea. Anyway, I Kill Giants is another one for the collection. Last but not least is a movie that I have come across so many different times because I like to make lists of like directors' filmographies with the goal of being to watch all of them, but it just never happens. I just like to make lists. And there are so many directors that I love that directed segments of, I'm going to butcher this. I didn't even practice before I picked this up, but Paris Je t'aime? I don't know. Correct me down below because I'm an idiot. But yeah, there are so many directors on here. We have Olivier Assayas. You have Wes Craven on here, the Coens, Alfonso Cuarón. Like, it's just insane how many great directors are on here. Gus Van Sant. So, yeah, I don't know. This is just awesome. You can see all of the directors listed there. Look it up on IMDb because it's going to be a lot easier to see. But, yeah, this is a movie that I've always wanted to check out because there are so many known directors that directed segments here. So, I just need to see it. And I'm so glad I was able to find it. This is another one, like, I'll probably replace this Blu-ray case because it looks a little messed up on the back. So as long as the cover art is good, I'll probably just replace the case and, be happier about my life. So anyway, I'm going to try saying it one more time. Paris Je t'aime. Oh, I'm just butchering it every time I try to say it. Anyway, this is the movie. You can see the title there. You're smarter than I am. You know what it says. So yeah, that's that. I'm very excited to have this one in the collection finally after all these years. So that is going to be the last Blu-ray I picked up and the last item for this Dollar Tree haul. All right, so that was a completely unexpected Dollar Tree haul over this past weekend. Like, again, I just kind of randomly ended up there. I didn't actively seek these out this time, but when I'm there, of course, I'm going to look through things and find anything that looks interesting. And as you can see, there's a giant stack of things here that looked interesting. So I grabbed these over like 2 stores, which is kind of ridiculous. Again, that first one, or no, I guess it was the second one I went to that I'd never been to before. Like, just completely untapped, and it was awesome. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below if you found anything good at your Dollar Tree during this newest wave, and if so, what did you find? Anything else that is not shown here? I would love to hear from you guys down in the comments below. I always appreciate that support, so thank you guys so much for that. As always, guys, if you did enjoy this video, though, please give it a like down below. That engagement really does help me out, and like I always say, I don't just talk movies. As you can tell here, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, music, apparently, graphic novels, whatever. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.